Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. It's 9:06, about to be 9:07. It's Monday morning. I'm excited. I got a special guest in studio. I got a couple guests that are going to be hanging out, and they have actually been here before. It's going to be a good time. I got Braden Rivera here. He is making his way around everywhere. I've seen him on Twitter. I see him on social media. I see him in person. He's spreading some positivity, and these are the kind of stories that we like to talk about. These are the kind of things that we like to share. So go ahead and get ready. Share this video out. Let me know what you're up to today. What kind of positivity are you spreading on this beautiful Monday? I had an awesome night last night at Abundant Life. We have Gustavo Paez here, and then I wasn't planning to go work out, wake up early this morning, and then I just felt refreshed. So it was a good time. I'm going to say good morning to my guests, and then we're going to talk for a little bit, get on the FM. How's it going, guys? You doing good, Braden?
Yes.
What's up? What have you been up to, man? You've been busy, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you know what? And I have seen you around on social media dressed like one of my favorite characters ever. Do you know which character I'm talking about?
Mario?
Mario. That's you, right?
Yes.
I didn't recognize you when you walked in because you look like Braden Rivera, but I was like, he kind of looks like Mario a little bit. I think I recognize you from some social media, and I think last time you came dressed as Mario. Can you share? What is it about Mario that makes you want to dress up and go spread some good news?
The Halloween, whenever we were gonna dress up as Mario characters, I wanted to dress up as Mario because he's my favorite character.
Oh, that's awesome. And who is this with you today?
My dad.
Dad, how's it going?
What's going on, Cardi? Good to be here with you this morning. Before we start off, I know Chevy's watching. I got to make fun of him. Hey, bro, look at my head. You didn't cut it, bro? I got this. We got to pick up. Chevy, what's up, bro? Look at this, bro. Bald spots. Anyway, oh, man, we're excited. I've been excited to take Braden around. He loves sharing the good news of what he's doing. This is his third year to raise money for MD Anderson. This year, he'll talk about in a minute what his goal is, and he's raised quite a bit of money for just MD Anderson, something that started as a goal that he had a few years ago, and he just keeps going and keeps going. And every year he goes and meets with the president of MD Anderson, Dr. Pristers there in Houston. He goes there and, he brings all the money he raises and has a good time. We're just showing that he's wanting to, with that effort, to move forward and keep helping end cancer. That, to him, that's what he's doing, and that's what everyone that gives and donates, that's what they're doing is helping end cancer. So
awesome. All right, so we're going to get it switched over to the FM as well if you're watching on Facebook. Thank you. Good morning. Feel free to ask some questions. Share it out. Smash the share button. We're going to be spreading some positivity on this Monday morning right here on KHEA. Here we go. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM right now. It's 9:10 a.m. on a Monday morning. That was Amanda Cook. Song's called Still on KHEA. You can stream us at KHEAradio.com. You can download the KHEA Radio app. I got Braden Rivera here in studio. We're going to be talking about how you can help get involved in end cancer, stomp out cancer. That's the goal. I also got Brian. How's it going, Brian?
Hey, good morning. We're doing good.
Everything's good, huh? You've been busy. I saw you started a new job. You're still hustling, doing everything that you can to spread some positivity in the community. That's what it's about, right?
Yeah, we've been real busy. Me and my wife stay busy. She's working on one end, I'm on this end doing things, and this time of year is always fun for me and Braden and my wife too, because we get to take him around places, and he's raising money. He's actually part of the boot walk team in Leak City. Any Leak City MD Anderson people watching, Braden's your team captain. He's pretty excited about that. He's going up there here in a week or so to get some more people on his team and raising money. And so not only this year he's a team captain and he's raising his own goal. So he's really excited about doing that. And Braden has a lot of fun doing this. This is one of his things. And he has a whole team of people from MD Anderson. I know a lot of them are probably listening. They are amazing people there. Not only the doctors that help end cancer, but even the people that work in public relations communications, that's their ultimate goal, is to help end cancer. And so Braden has a whole PR team that works with him, and they sit us down, and we get to talk about their plans and stuff, and that's their ultimate goal, is to help do that. So,
Barry, can I borrow your PR team? I feel like
right. Hey man, those people are cool, man. They
Yeah.
But that is what they do, the best, and they know what works, and they love that Braden's willing to get forth and do the effort and give the effort to do the things that he does, and that's what makes everything work really well. and he loves it. We ask him every year, like, do you want to do this? You know, me and my people, you and your wife make him do it. We don't make him do anything. We ask him, and my wife, sometimes I get a little excited. My wife's probably watching live and saying the same thing, but I get a little excited. Braden, you sure? You know, and my wife's like, just leave him be, let him do it. And he makes a lot of these decisions himself. Wearing Mario's pretty cool, and yeah, that's something he does. So.
You ever think about being Luigi? No need to mix it up right now, huh?
Tell them about the one that you saw that you want to wear with Yoshi.
This costume that I went away with Mario on top of Yoshi.
So you would be, I think, like you're riding Yoshi. Mm-hmm. That would be awesome.
It's got the feet coming out of Yoshi, so he's walking, and then it's got Yoshi on him. So.
That's awesome. So you're going to be the team captain. What does that mean to be the team captain? It feels like it would be an honor. They want you to be the leader, and you are leading the group to help end cancer. Why is this so important for you to be involved and to end cancer?
Because my mom had cancer.
Your mom had cancer. And how many years ago was that? It was a couple years ago, I think.
So initially it was January 2017, and then just this last September is when she was initially cleared from, or cancer-free. So
wow, and that's a big deal. That's awesome. That's God, the doctors at MD Anderson, you know, people praying, and the hard work that you were able to do and continue to do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's awesome. So I know there's a lot of people that are proud. If you're watching on Facebook, feel free to share this out. If you're listening on 99.5 FM and you want to get involved, there are ways that you can get involved. How can people get involved, whether that's donating time, money? What can people do to help the cause?
So I put a link, and that link's directly, especially if you're watching, that's directly to Braden's link there, and you'll see where you can join his team. You can even donate. He's got a pretty big goal. What's your goal, Braden? Tell everybody.
$10,000.
$10,000.
$10,000 this year. So he's a little bit over 500, which is he's surpassed his goal from 2017. He's excited. This week he said, him and my wife said they want to hit 5,000, which would surpass last year's goal. And once he gets to that, 10,000 is his overall goal. But you click on that link, and I shared the link a couple times in there. I'll share it some more. You can join Braden's team. You can just give if you don't have to join. You can also give to the overall and see a lot of information about what the Boot Walk does. Once his team raises $25,000, which is pretty much the big goal for that team, they can put that money wherever they want to put within MD Anderson, because it's all the money that's raised goes back in to wherever they want to put it to, especially within the organization. And so that money would be allocated to whatever Braden chooses. Me and Braden hadn't even talked about it. My wife, he could give it back to the League City campus, but they allocate to wherever they want to give it to. And so that's what Braden's getting to do. And then his $10,000, he gets to allocate to where it goes to too. So it's pretty cool. So overall.
How did you come up with that number? That's a big number. What was your goal last year?
Last year,
was it 1,000, right?
Yeah.
You had $1,000 goal for last year?
Yes, and I was like, I don't know how much. I think it was like a little over.
4,100 is what you overall last year, I think.
Wow, so you raised $4,100 last year. You started out with a goal of $1,000, and then you raised $4,100. That's a lot of money.
Then the year before, I didn't have a goal.
You just went in and said, hey, we're raising money. And how much money did you raise that first year?
$412.
Wow, so $412 the first year, $4,100, and this year the goal's $10,000. And I'm thinking you may surpass that goal. What are you thinking? Is that what you're hoping?
Yes, sir.
That's the hope.
Tell everybody they got to click on the link. So you got to click on the link and donate.
Click on the link and donate.
Yep.
All right. So we have a link in the comments on our Facebook stream. So if you're watching on KHEA, you want to get involved, feel free to ask and help out. Having already $500 raised, that makes you surpass the amount raised the first year, right?
Yes.
How does that make you feel? That's a big deal. $500 is a lot of money as well. How old are you?
8.
You're 8 years old.
Almost 9 in December.
What day? December what?
2nd.
All right. What grade are you in now?
3rd.
Do you have a favorite subject?
Math and history.
Math and history. I remember last time you were in. You're kind of a history buff.
Yes.
What is it about history that makes it so, I guess, interesting?
I like to learn about history and stuff.
It just seems fun, huh?
Yes.
You know what? I like history, but I'm not that much of a fan of math. Do you get that from your dad? Is your dad a fan of math?
Are you?
I don't know. Not like you.
Unless it's dollars raised for charity, then we're talking numbers, huh?
Yes.
All right. Hey, whenever you heard his goal of $10,000, what was that initial thought? That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money, but you got to have I have a lot of faith in Braden. Braden he networks like his dad, like me.
Mm-hmm.
And Braden has gotten some really cool ideas. My wife, people are, hey, we're going to help do this and all that. And so we're like, okay, here we go with $10,000. One of the things that I try not to forget too is that MD Anderson actually has a separate link for Braden, and Braden's helped raise funds overall. And I do not have that total number on hand, but on top of the $4,500, he's raised more than that, especially during the parts of the year when people give and donate. People still give and donate in his link, and all that money is underneath Braden's name. And so he's raised thousands for MD Anderson on top of this, for the boot walk, and on top of the other things for MD Anderson that he's done. So he's considered one of the youngest philanthropists for MD Anderson. And so on his Twitter, you'll see that he'll put that philanthropist. We put that on there. And so
That's awesome.
And my wife makes sure that he tweets a lot of those. A lot of those things I help him out with, and we'll tweet those things. And he gets on there and makes videos and stuff like that. And so he likes doing that kind of stuff. So
what is his Twitter?
So his Twitter handle is, what is it? Braden Adam Rivera, I think.
I don't know.
Braden Adam Rivera. I'll look it up, but it's
knows.
Braden Adam Rivera on Twitter. And Braden Rivera 7. That's what his Twitter handle is.
Yeah. All right. So you can go give him a follow as well. So last year, $4,100 was raised. How did y'all raise that money? Because I think, weren't y'all like setting out even donation places, like little cans?
So that's one of the things this year. MD Anderson actually made some pretty cool ink work, I guess, and you can put it on cans. And so Braden's created a bunch of little cans, and so I'll put my email address in there. So if anyone wants to email me, they can or send me a Facebook message or my wife, and we can get you a can, and you can put it in front of your business. You can put it in front of your work or whatnot, and that's actually one of his big money makers, is people having those at their jobs. We've had people. I had a friend that worked at Texas Children's, and he put a couple out there and random people's desks and stuff, and people are raising money that way. And so that's what he does. And then the coolest thing is having him dressed up as Mario to go pick him up. Where I work at the Port of Galveston, we're going to put some up there. So he's going to go and walk up there and go collect all the money from the port. So all the Texas City Police Department, all the different places that we know people at, he's going to have them at, and he's going to go pick them up. And that's the best. That's the coolest thing for him, is the change.
Yeah. As a dad, how does that make you feel that Braden's kind of leading the cause, to hashtag end cancer?
It's pretty neat. I think one of the biggest things for me and my wife is we never really expected her to ever get cancer. No one ever does, right? And then, God took that and he made it something as joyous as being able to see my son walk into MD Anderson dressed as Mario, which has happened a couple times. And you see doctors and patients stop and take selfies with him. That is like one of the most true and incredible moments for me and my wife. And people are like, hey, can we take a picture with him? Can we take a selfie? And we're late to meetings and stuff because they're like, hey, that's Mario. We want to take a picture with him. And to me, MD Anderson sees it as hope. We see it like that too. Like, he's hope to people, and that this young kid who's about to be 9, right?
Yes.
He's about to be 9, and he's 8 now. He's about to be 9, and so he's not even 9 years old, and he's raising money, but he's a hope for people. And that to me as a father, man, that's where it's at, man. That is like the coolest thing in the world, knowing that your son's hope to people, and that the message that he's bringing forth is really incredible too. And people like to talk to him and like to see him, and it's really cool. And people throw money at him, that's cool too, because he's doing it for this overall cause. And so it's pretty cool that my son makes more money than I do. So
you know, and MD Anderson has kind of welcomed him in and made him the leader and kind of the face for some of the cause there.
They do. They you know, they're really cautious with us. You know, they don't want to like overdo us, but we're always like, dude, you know, beam me up, Scotty, whatever you want to do, man. We're willing to go, and we'll email them, and we work with quite a bit of people. I can name drop Brett Payton, some of the other people there, and Deja Chacon with the boot walk and Meredith. We start working with these people, and we email them, hey, we're ready to go, and they're like, okay, it's Braden ready, and then they come back with us, and they get some really cool ideas for us, and we're like, hey, whatever y'all want to do, let's do it, and we run with it, and they utilize Braden in the best way, and then they ask him, hey, you want to do this, you want to do that, and we just run with it for them, you know, and we reach out to our friends, like I've reached out to you several times and say, hey, man, you know, this is what Braden's doing, it's all on Braden, whatever he wants to do, if he wants to stop, he'll stop, you know, but we let him do it, and that's, MD Anderson has been really good about that. The president of MD Anderson, who's Dr. Pisters, Braden is actually tweets him, he follows Braden, which is pretty cool. And Braden actually will post videos to him and pretty much call him out and say, hey, look, this year I'm raising $10,000, Dr. Pister. You need to get behind me. And he does. He always does. And he congratulates him, and he gets behind him. He'll reshare his tweets and stuff. It's really cool, you know. And the president of this amazing organization retweets and tweet what my son tweets out. So it's pretty cool. And he follows them. And the whole organization, Tad, all the guys, all the people there, they get behind Braden, and they get behind our family, and they know what Braden's trying to do and that message he's trying to get out. So MD Anderson's an amazing organization. I could say that all day. So,
hey, Braden, do the kids in your class realize that you're kind of famous, doing some good things? Do they realize that?
Not one.
not a single one, huh?
No, all of them except one.
Oh, just one. All of them except one. He doesn't believe you?
Listening to him now. You say hi to your class?
Hi.
What's the name of your school?
Calvary Baptist Childhood Education Ministry.
Awesome. So what's up? Shout out to you guys. Hey, I also had to give a shout out to Mr. Brendan Keys. He does he said it's his wife's birthday, so happy birthday, Gwen. And he also does some events where he will do some soccer training. He's a professional soccer player to raise money for cancer, and I think he had some family members that had went through that. And so I love to see and hear stories, because there's so many different things that people go through, and you never know, like, you know, sharing your story, you know, what your wife and your family went through, how that can motivate somebody else to continue to be the good. And it just takes normal people, you know, turning into extraordinary people who do amazing things like you, Braden. How does that make you feel that your story has been such a motivation to so many people, I'm going to say all over the world? Is that a good feeling?
Yes.
Yeah. If you could tell everybody in the whole world, you know, one thing, maybe about how they can get involved, how they can help end cancer, and why is it important to you, what would you tell them?
I don't know.
I know, that was a tough question. I probably shouldn't have. Hey, but I think you're doing some really cool things, though. And I think that you've probably inspired a lot of your classmates as well. So that's always awesome. Right now, it is 9:25. This is KHEARadio.com, 99.5 FM. If you're watching on Facebook, feel free to share this out. If you have any questions on how you can get involved, feel free to do so. And I see that there's some links in here as well that I clicked on one. It's easy to get involved. It's easy to donate. And we got Brian, I see you had dropped in there. It's like bndfr.com. /B5MTR, and it links you right there. You can get involved and donate and see how you can join Braden's team right here, MD Anderson in League City, right?
Yes.
That's the goal. All right. We're going to take a quick break on the FM. We're going to keep it going on Facebook. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM.
Every year.
All right, cool. It's going good. Hey, here's a comment and said, this is Grandma, Jackie Rivera. Tell my boys I love them, and I am super, super proud of them both. So that's your grandma?
Say hi to Grandma.
Hi, Grandma.
I'm sure that everybody in the family is proud, and not just family members. I'm sure there's people that are from all over the world that are very proud and inspired. And I see Chevy tuned in. What's up, sir? Chevy's doing some cool things. It's awesome to see Because me and you, Brian, we met years. I'm gonna say it'll be about 10 years ago. Whenever I was doing my Tiger Party stuff, like I wouldn't call that full time. And there were some events, and just playing wherever. But
man,
that's a long time ago.
it was. And now here we are, man, with kids, and yeah, man, it's crazy. Yeah, I think times have changed, man. We get older, but yeah, Braden's really enjoying this, and he's actually he does some politics too. He likes to go block walking for candidates and stuff. And I know you had Mays Middleton onto the wall a while back. Braden loves Mays, man. Mays made him a page for the day there at the state, and so Braden got to actually be a page for the day in the Texas House of Representatives. He got to meet the Speaker of the House.
Wow.
Speaker Pro Tem. A really cool picture, man. It's him with the Speaker Pro Tem, and Mays, and he's standing there on the dais, and it's pretty neat. And so all those guys that I'm pretty sure are watching, Kyle and Mike and Josh, those guys love Braden too. And so, they like to have him at events and stuff. So Braden does a lot of cool stuff, man. He's done some cooler things than I've done when I was his age, man. So, and that's what you try to do, is try to do cool stuff for your kids. And so Braden gets to have fun. And so it's pretty cool when like a candidate, when your state rep calls and says, "Hey, can you do an event?" And you're like, "Oh, sure, I'll be there." And like, no, Braden, can Braden go do an event? You're like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. Braden's 8 years old. He's a philanthropist. He is a history buff, math scholar. What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be the president of MD Anderson.
Also in the United States. I was like, let's go. But
he did. He said that, right? Which one? You want to be both, right?
Yes.
He wants to be president of MD Anderson and then the president of the United States.
Those are great goals. You know what? That's what I was going to say. Being a philanthropist and, already making a difference and being in the community. And a history buff, I feel like you could be, a politician and very successful and spread some positivity all over the world like you are, just every day. And, I mean, you're already doing some great things. It's awesome to be able to follow you.
Yeah.
And on Twitter. Braden Adam Rivera.
He follows you on Twitter. He follows you on Twitter, too.
Mm-hmm.
I told you got a lot of Twitter friends. Oh, man, all the people at MD Anderson follow him. So it's really cool whenever we tweet something out and they're all liking it and stuff. And you see all these doctors and the head of this and the head of this department, all that, that are liking his page and stuff. It's really cool. So I think that works out. And he's making a difference, and he's going up there and he's sharing, love and spreading love and hope. That's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So here's one. Zach Lopez said, "Hey, proud of you, bud, and good morning, Brian."
What's up, Zach?
And then Chevy said, "What's up, baby?" And I can hear him say that, "Baby." We had an event on Saturday. We partnered with United Way, Galveston County, Mainland, to do our Taco Cook-Off, and it was here.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So I had so Chevy was out here, helping out with Anthony and Rockin' River's Bounce House, and he's like, Chevy's awesome. He does a lot, and he's very versatile.
Yeah, he is. I know he's watching, but the one thing he didn't do is cut my hair. Hey, Chevy, what's up, bro? No, he is, man. I love that guy too. When the three of us come together, we unite and form a big team. Now, he's cool. He's doing everything Chevy puts his hands to, man. No matter what it was, ministry or which he does a ministry altogether, cutting hair, but whether it be going to weddings and stuff, man. Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen that guy work at a wedding, man? He gets his camera out there and he's going to the wedding. He's like, "Hey, man, just smile," and he's got like the mother-in-law that's all stressed out. He's got her smiling and giggling afterwards. I mean, that's just what he does, and I like going into his house and get our haircuts. I mean, that's where me and Braden get haircuts. We both are overdue, but yeah, Chevy's a cool guy, man.
Yeah, I took my son Kellen, he's 7, and he went and got his hair. He saved me when I was in a bind because picture day, it was a Sunday, and picture day was on a Monday, and the weekend snuck by, and I was like, oh man, picture day, this is going to be probably on grandma's wall forever, So I was like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, bring him in.
We had something we had to go to one morning. I don't remember what it was. We had to go to something, and then I had to get a haircut that night. And so he was like, dude, like, what did we have to do the next day?
Adoption day?
No, was it? No, it was one time where you fell asleep at Chevy's house.
But
we had something going on. He's like, dude, just come over at like 10 o'clock. We're like, all right. And so 10 o'clock. You know, he put the kids to sleep, him and Amanda, and then next thing you know, he's cutting her hair at Braden. I say, do Braden first because he's going to sleep, and Braden's sleeping on that little couch that he has with his guitar and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And Braden's asleep, and then I'm just getting my hair cut. But, yeah, he's always been good to our family, man.
Yeah, I need to see him work at a wedding because he's a photographer.
Dude, yes.
And I can imagine.
Going and come here, baby. Come on, baby. You know, he's sitting there making everyone laugh and stuff. Yeah.
That's
it's
awesome.
good to see him work.
Very cool. Let's see. We got. We'll probably play one more song and we'll go back on the FM as well. Again, if you're watching on Facebook, if you have any questions, you want to know how you can get involved, feel free to ask. Just let me know. Hey, how are you doing today? It's Monday, and we want to know how you're spreading some positivity. Today is the day, and we had like a weather drop. The Astros won. You know, life is pretty good. Did you have a chance to stay up and watch that game?
Yes, I watched all the way to the end. Braden wanted to stay up and watch it, but my wife maybe put him to sleep.
Yeah.
So I sat there and I was watching on my phone, man, and, you know, all my kids are asleep, so I didn't yell as loud as I wanted to yell there. But, man, that walk-off homer, man, gosh, man, that was perfect. That was perfect.
Yeah.
But they got to pull it together, man, and
get some runs.
And they got to do it the rest of the time there.
So I was watching. I went to go brush my teeth in the commercial break because I was like, please let this game end. Come on, Astros, let's score. I went to go brush my teeth.
I saw that.
Yeah. I brushed my teeth. I come back out, and I see Correa is being interviewed, and it says at the bottom, and I was like, wait, if they're interviewing him, surely something good. And it said, like, second walk-off, you know, in history of the Astros. I was like, oh, I got the remote, and I rewound it to the commercials, and I feel like it was the production team sleeping, or something happened because the pitch was, like, already halfway down, you know,
before
the plate,
yeah.
and it was like, crack. Oh, what? And I was like, man, if it would have just been, like, 10 more seconds, I probably would have made it, you know, from brushing my teeth. But either way, Astros won. It's a good day. Yeah, the bats got to wake up, but you got to feel good with Garrett Cole on the mound because the dude has been nuts. Like nobody's been running, you know, getting any runs on him.
Man, I hope that stays this way. So
yeah, we'll see. So you think they're gonna win it all? You rooting for the Astros to win the World Series again?
Yes.
I think they can do it. They just need us to cheer them and keep supporting because that's a big deal. Have you had a lot of people support you whenever you raise, you know, funds and money for MD Anderson?
Yes.
Who's been the biggest supporter? Would it be your dad, your mom, or just everybody?
My family.
Just your family, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just like my mom was talking earlier, and I saw my mother-in-law. My mother and my mother-in-law, man, they post it and retweet stuff, and your grandma in San Antonio, and everybody's retweeting, reposting stuff, and then my mother's having cans put up at places, and she hits up her coworkers at work and be like, hey man, before you walk in, you better put some money in the can. You know, grandma don't play around, you know. My mom's always big. My mom knows how to get out there and get people to help out, and so everyone overall, my father-in-law, everybody overall has been pretty big on helping out, and all our other relatives. Uncle Willie said he's watching right now, and Aunt Celeste is watching. So, you know, he's got a lot of we have a lot of family that watch and help support him, and it's pretty cool, man. We just got to make a couple text messages, and everyone starts giving, and a bunch of our friends, and they just like, hey, man, anything we can do to promote and get on their pages, Facebook pages, and start doing stuff. I have a friend that's running for Congress or possibly running for Congress in California. And I was like, hey, man, you need to retweet this out, or retweet this out and repost it out. And he did, all the way in California. So I have some relatives that live in California doing the same thing. So it's pretty cool, man. Just have your family and all your friends really wanted to give and to help, you know, support them. So
awesome. So the goal is $10,000 raised to end cancer. When is that deadline over? When's the goal over?
So the event for the Boot Walk is Saturday, November the 9th, and it's at 1 o'clock. And so you can give all the way up into that. And I believe last year, or I believe you could still give even after that.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna put that keep that link up there and keep posting that today. But you'll give to that link, and you'll have up until November 9th to give to help him raise that $10,000. And so Braden's gonna, if you follow my Facebook or follow his tweet. Man, I got to get you to keep following it too and retweeting that stuff. And you'll see some of those videos. He's going to catch everybody up and see how he's doing. If you click on that link at any time, so if you give today, which I hope you do, if you click on that link, you can actually go and see how Braden's doing. Anybody can. It's public. So you can click on the link and you can see how much he's raised. And it'll show you like the percentage. I think this morning he was like 5% raised. Well, we got a long way to go, but you can see how he's doing. And if you want to be like, hey, I'm going to help him get to 20%, you can do that, you know? And so you can keep up to see how he's doing. And so that's pretty cool. That's anybody you'll be able to do that. Anyone can click on the link and see how he's doing. Join his team, which it's free. It's free to join Braden's team. You just click on it. You set yourself a goal for $100 or $2,000 or whatever. And if you don't get it, you're not charged that amount. That's just the goal overall, and it helps to the overall goal for the League City MD Anderson team that Braden's the team captain of.
Yeah. Whenever it comes to cancer research and I guess cancer treatment, here in our area it's known as the best in the world because of MD Anderson, right?
Right. Yeah, and that's what it is. I've said this. I think I said it last time. I don't know if they always agree with my terminology at MD Anderson. I'm not an official spokesperson for MD Anderson, but the people at MD Anderson, man, the cancer is just a little dot on the screen to them. They tackle that. No, they've seen one type of cancer. They've seen it all. They tackle cancer no matter what it is, and they're that good at it. And they have great plans. I've had a lot of relatives, and I know we've all had friends that have went to MD Anderson and had the same experiences. And the people there are great, man. No matter what you do, whether you're a doctor, a surgeon, or the people cleaning the floors, man, they all have that same mentality that they want to help end cancer, and that's what makes them one of the best, man. And now they have the campus that used to be in Nassau Bay. Now it's here in League City, and we love that place. And we go. My wife will go, even though she's still considered a patient because she still has to be seen. But my wife will go, and we go spend time with them and talk to their doctors.
I've never been inside the League City building.
But they're going to change that. I know the League City people are watching because you're supposed to go up there next. You're supposed to go next week during lunchtime to go talk to the team and get them all excited about joining the team. He needs more League City people joining the team. So if you're watching this and you're from League City, join the team. Click on the deal. Join Braden's team. Be part of your team captain's team, and let's go.
Can you walk me through what was that like whenever you got that diagnosis that your wife? You mentioned you never expect that to happen to you or anyone in your family, really.
No, there's a picture that Chevy took of us back in December 2016. And my wife posted all the time. Chevy posted a couple of weeks back. There's a picture, and my wife said at Christmas time, she remember looking at it and just thinking, man, everything's perfect. Our family's great. We had just the 3 kids at the time. Everything was amazing. And then, January 20th was when we got the news that in 2017 that my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer. It hits you like a ton of bricks, man. You don't expect it. You don't. You hear other people experiencing it, but you never really think that it's going to happen to you. When it did, it was like a ton of bricks, and it was the reality of it is that okay, now we have this, and we have to face this, and you're going to face it alone is how you feel. But man, your family comes together, and your friends come together, all the support from all the people, and then MD Anderson, man, they just go in there and they're just like they're cool, collected, and like, all right, here we go, let's go, like get in the passenger seat, let's go, and that's what made the whole experience. I didn't have to do chemotherapy like my wife did, or radiation, or have to be sick in bed like she was. But that was, overall, just the experience from MD Anderson is what helped us with that negative experience, with a negative connotation of what happened. And so it was tough. It was really tough. There was some really tough times. We dealt with some really tough things. And then you got to remember we have kids. So then we had to, my kids didn't understand, why mama was sick in the bed or what radiation was. And we taught them those things. And that's why in October of 2017, Braden was like, it finally clicked like, hey, and I think we talked about this last time. Braden overall in 2017 was like, hey, I saw my mom had cancer and I wanted to go away, and so Braden.
Forever. I remember
forever.
that.
Remember forever. And he had these little cans and he says, hey, MD Anderson, take this money, and this is to help cancer go away forever. I didn't tell him to do that. My wife, my in-laws, no one did. My mother, no one told him to do that. He did it, and for trick-or-treating that one year, he went and collected money. and he collected $412 because he wanted to go away. He didn't want. I think the conversation he had with me and my wife, and he was 6 at the time. He told us, he said, "I don't want anybody to have to go through what I went through, having to see your mommy sick." And man, that blows your mind that he sees it, that these kids see it that way.
Yeah. Whenever that diagnosis came in, what does that do to your faith? I mean, it has to be, like you mentioned, hey, I never expected, this to happen. And that's not the easiest thing to navigate. But, I mean, what does that do to your faith?
So you're going to make me preach now, man. I go back to my roots.
I'm ready.
One of the things, man, one of the things that we tend to forget sometimes, and I'm glad you asked that, is that, I told somebody that the devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy, no matter what. He comes to take our pride from us. He comes to take our love and our joy. My wife shared it right there that she had, she claimed it, man. Everything's perfect. We're doing great. And the devil, he heard it, man, and he tries to come in. He tries to steal all that from you. And, but at the end of the day, we always remember that. Like, he's real, and he tries to do that. But the God that we serve is realer. He's already, paid that with the price, and he loves us all. And, we have to have faith in him, and that's what we did. Ultimately, we knew that he was our healer, right? And so that's what me and my wife prayed, and we had a lot of friends pray for us, family all over the country and all over the state praying for us. And, we stuck to our faith and stuck to our guns and stuck to MD Anderson and knew that God was going to help provide that. And God, it's crazy that, the devil comes and he tries to do those things and make, pretty much try to destroy you no matter which way he can. And God turned that around and made my son one of the youngest philanthropists for MD Anderson throughout that. And so that's what it did to me and my wife's faith. It was not that we can tackle anything alone, but know that God's got our back. And I think that was one of the biggest things through our whole marriage, is having to deal with, my youngest son's having some issues now. But we know no matter what, man, God's got the key to it, and, it's done. No matter what it is, it's done. So
yeah, with Braden picking up the cause and raising money for MD Anderson, was that like an energizing moment to you and your wife and your entire family?
Yeah, to me and my wife, it was. I think we both, Braden's had some challenges in his life since he was younger. And for Braden to do that, and then MD Anderson to turn around, because Braden was just going to take this can to, just one of the doctors there that work at MD Anderson. And oh no, we got a new president that just started. Let Braden meet with him, and for them to do that, it helped energize us and say, man, you know what? Look what Braden's doing. Look what they're willing to do for him. Let's run with this. And so I think my wife and I were kind of like, okay, we're done. That's it. In 2017, and then 2018, I think they called us or emailed us. Me and my wife get emails from. My wife does a lot of PR work for MD Anderson. She goes to places. My wife does public speaking for them and for cancer organizations, not just MD Anderson. So my wife does a lot of that. And so we were getting emails, and she was getting email, and I get an email, and they're like, hey, is Braden ready to go again? We're like, yeah. And so then Braden retweeted last year that, he pretty much called out the doctor, MD Anderson, like, say, what's up? I'm doing $1,000 this year. He didn't say it like that, but he was like, say, Dr. Pister, what's up, man? I'm doing $1,000. You got me. You gonna, can I come up there? And he did, and he raised over $1,000. And, that's what's been cool, is they keep us going, and we keep, okay, Braden. And if he says, hey, I'm just going to take a break, we take a break with him. But he keeps on. He keeps wanting to do it, and he gives us cool ideas. He told you earlier about the Yoshi costume he wants to do, and, those are his ideas. So he keeps us energized on it,
I have an idea. So if he's Mario, can we have you be Luigi?
Dude.
That would be a lot of fun.
Who was that last year?
You were Bowser.
He made me Bowser.
Bowser,
last year.
okay.
The year before.
Bro, my wife, we had to go. We have 4 kids, bro. So we had to, we had to be a little. My wife got a big shirt and put the little deals on. But dude, I was Bowser, bro. I had the shell. I had the shell too, didn't I? I had the shell. Oh, dude, it was awesome. So, yeah, we're not doing that publicly. So, I got friends watching this thing. We're not doing that publicly.
Yeah. All right. Hey, let's switch it back on the FM as well. Keep it going. If you are watching on Facebook, there is links throughout this comment stream on social media. You can click that, donate, join Braden's team. You can help stomp out cancer. You have till November 9th to join that, and that's whenever the boot walk actually takes place. That's the deadline, I believe. And I'll remember that's my son's birthday.
November 9th?
November 9th. So here we go. Switch it over to the FM. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Right now it's 9:46 a.m. on a Monday morning. I am talking to Braden Rivera. I got Brian Rivera here in studio, and we're talking a little bit about Mario. We're talking about ending cancer, and we're talking about ways that you can get involved and help out people all over the world. And this is an opportunity for you. There's a goal, and it's a large goal. Braden, you're trying to raise some money to end cancer. How much money are you going to be raising?
$10,000.
$10,000. That's awesome. Is that just the first number that came to mind? Because it's a big goal.
First I wanted to go ahead and I was raising 1,100 last year. And I wanted to go to 10,000.
See, and you're a man that knows a lot about math. You're a math man. You know, you see the numbers and you're like, okay, yeah, $10,000. And you have how much money raised right now already?
About 500.
About $500. So that's a pretty good start. And I think we have till November 9th.
To November 9th, that's right.
And that's whenever the boot walk. What is the boot walk?
You want me to talk about the boot walk for you?
Yes.
So boot walk was something that was started several years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the biggest things about the boot walk is you get to, and that's one of the things they're like, oh, you have to wear boots to walk at the boot walk. You don't. You can wear your tennis shoes, but they're stomping out cancer, man. That's the whole overall deal for MD Anderson with the boot walk. And you have all sorts of different organizations that have teams. They build teams, and they have people that sponsor the event. And all the money they get to 100% of the funds get to allocate it back into different organizations within MD Anderson. Different departments get that. I think one of the things me and Braden and my wife have talked about is taking the money that he raises and helping, and the whole team raises, because once he gets to 25,000, they'll get to allocate that to wherever. And so I think Braden's probably going to try to allocate that back into the League City campus, so they get to allocate it wherever they want and wherever they need to put it, and what research and whatnot. So that's what started. One of the biggest things of the boot walk is stomping out cancer.
Stomping out cancer. And you'll see those, like the signs in the billboard, and it's like MD Anderson, Cancer Research Center, and they have it, with a red line, like scratched through cancer. And seeing those billboards and that marketing and branding, it's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
But you mentioned talking to them that they're like, hey, it's just a word on a piece of paper.
That's it.
And I feel like for them to have that relationship where they see that every day.
Yep.
But still to understand, like, this is maybe the biggest battle this person's going to and this family's going to face, ever. And it seems like it's a delicate balance, right? Because you see, like, cancer patients every day and then realize, like, hey, we can do this, to keep that positive mentality.
Yeah, and they see the worst of the worst, and that's kind of when my wife, Braden's mother, was experiencing cancer. Like, man, like, even when she's discouraged, we're discouraged, they're like, hey, man, come in here, come with us. Let's get you want a Sprite? We'll get you a Sprite, make you feel good. We'll get you some snacks. Let's go. We're ready to fight with you. And everybody in that organization, like I said, no matter what they do, and whether the people that, go bring take you downstairs to get in your car, or if they're the valet, or they're a surgeon, everybody has the same mentality there, man. We're going to end cancer, and we're going to have everybody have the best experience they can while they're here, and show them that we love them. And they truly do care about you there, and we've never had a bad experience at MD Anderson. So that's why we love speaking. We don't work for them. They don't pay us to do any of this, but that's why we let Braden do these things, because they've been good to us, and we want to be big advocates for them and get the word and message out.
All right. Hey, Braden, you've had a little bit of a history calling out people, the doctors, and saying, like, hey, I'm doing this. I'm challenging you. Is there anybody in the whole world that you can think of, from the president of the United States to the mayor of League City to somebody at your school, that you would like to challenge and say, hey, would you consider donating, or would you consider joining my team? Do you have what it takes?
Everyone.
I like that. We challenge everyone. Join the team. Join the cause. And it's a great opportunity for you to give back, and you can help end cancer.
Yep.
All right. Hey, right now, let's see. It's 9:52 on KHEARadio.com, 99.5 FM. Is there anything else that we still need to touch on that we haven't had the opportunity yet?
No, one of the big things is what Braden's saying. You click on this link, and we keep putting the link in there a couple times. So my wife knows that I'm actually putting the link in there. Last time, she's like, you were on texting the whole time my guardian's talking to you. So I'm not, hey, babe, I'm not texting. I'm right here. My hand's here. But one of the things, when you click on the link, you can see all the people that have given. It's pretty cool. Some people give anonymously. You can see, you can put your name on there and show how much you're giving. And Braden, good opportunity for Braden to be able to send you a message back and thank you. My daughter, Emily, gave $3 the other day.
That's awesome.
And you know, that's all it takes. Like today, I challenge you before this is over. If you want to just give $5, you can give $5. You can give $5 every paycheck until November 9th. That's fine. You know, you click on there, you give your $5, and it goes directly to MD Anderson, to the Blue Block, and on Braden's team and for Braden's effort that he's doing. So, give $5, give $10, give $1.50. I think Emily had $3. And she gave $3
From her birthday money, she had like 65.
From her birthday money, 65.
Yeah.
So she's like, well, I guess I got 62 left. That's my sassy daughter. But she's like, well, I guess I'll just give $3. But anyway, so she donated, and so anyone could do it, and that's what's really cool. And
All right.
that's what he's doing.
How old is Emily?
She's 7.
7. And she had her birthday month. She turned 7 years old, and she gave some to the cause.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're in the same class.
Okay, that's cool.
First, second, third, and fourth grade.
Very cool. Is that fun being in a school and you get to see your sister?
Yes.
You sure you could tell the truth? Everyone's listening and watching, so you could tell the truth. Is it fun being in class with her?
Yes.
Okay.
Is she as good a student as you are?
Yes.
It took a little bit while to
Yeah, he
answer
did.
that one right there. No,
You know,
but that's
Miss-
fun.
You know, Miss Gardner and Miss Jordan are listening right now, so tell the truth.
All right, so we got about 5 minutes left. We're talking to Braden Rivera. We're talking to Brian Rivera about how you can get involved. And this is a young man that's doing some really, really amazing things and helping spread awareness on ways that you can help end cancer. And that's really important. You know, there's a lot of people that have been affected. Everybody knows somebody that has gone through this or is currently battling this. And, you know, with a lot of research from places like MD Anderson, it's become more of a, you know, there's the light at the end of the tunnel. You kind of follow the, you know, the directions, do the treatments, keep the faith. And a lot of times it's a miracle. And that's powerful to see. And I'm very glad that we have a facility like MD Anderson right here.
Right in Lake City.
It's crazy, huh?
We could start off right there in Lake City also. So, yeah, it really is. And the people there are just, I've said it like 3 or 4 times a day. They're just all really amazing there. So,
yeah, I need to go over there. I want to meet him. I need to
you
go
really
hang out with you guys.
You
Yeah.
need to go with Braden. Braden's going up there in a couple days, or maybe next week. I think he's going up there and going to charge some people up and get the Lake City people to join the team.
One?
The Lake City campus.
I've never been inside there.
Yeah, I'm like Braden. Me and my wife are Braden's PR people. We take them. We just say, hey, son, you're getting out of school. You're going here this day. So, you know, you're going to Austin today to go see the Speaker of the House. Hey, Braden, you're going to go meet the president of MD Anderson. So,
Yeah.
that's kind of cool. Hey, today, no school. You're going to go see Mr. Gardy. So,
Would you rather be at school right now?
he's going to tell you the truth.
I don't know.
I like that. Okay. All right.
Your teachers are listening and the principal. So be good. Choose your words lightly, son.
You love school, right? I mean, you love learning. Can you show? I know last time that you were in, you were kind of showing some of the history, knowledge, and skills that you have, even going back from like presidents. Can you name like the last 5 presidents? In whichever order you want, going backwards or forwards. I don't know if I
George
can.
Washington.
No, the last 5.
Oh.
So starting from
40.
45. Starting from Trump.
Donald Trump.
What was that?
George W. Bush.
Mm-hmm. Well, you forgot one, but keep going.
No, he's a 40. Oh, Barack Obama.
There you go.
Then,
What's before that? Want me to help you out?
Mhm.
I can't do
I can't
I
even-
can do Arkansas impersonations. He's from Arkansas.
Yeah.
What's his name? Bill Clinton.
Yes.
And he's before that.
George H.W. Bush.
Good job.
Then Ronald Reagan.
There you go, man. Hey, that's awesome. Man, you're an inspiration. Again, make sure that you go check out that link. If you want to get involved, you can do so. Join Braden's team and help end cancer. Let's stomp this out and continue the awesome research that's taking place. Is there anything else you'd like to share while y'all are here?
No.
Say, make sure you click on my link and donate. How
Make
about
sure
that?
you click on my link and donate
Today,
today.
please.
Today.
Please.
Let's get it done. All right. So this is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have Wild Bill in studio. If you're wondering who Wild Bill is, stay tuned because it's about to get crazy in here. Pretty wild. Again, Braden, Brian, thank you so much for hanging out.
Thanks. It was good to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let me know if there's anything that I can ever do to help you guys out. It's KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Cool. Thank you all. And then, yeah, if you are tuned in, make sure that you, and I'm clicking on the link right now, it goes right to this page, and there is Braden with his Mario and got a baseball. $523 raised and 25 cents. So we got 27 days left. 5% of the goal has been met. Let me see. I'm going to say view my team.
Gardy, you got to be on the team, man.
I'm down.
You should join the team.
I will join the team.
You should. You really should.
Yeah.
I'm just clicking buttons.
You got to do it. You can sit here and do it and then join the team. It'll be easy.
Okay. Help me out. What do I do?
Is there a button that says join my team?
It says donate, join my team, view my team.
Do join my team.
Join my team.
And then you'll have to put all your information in there. You got to make sure you.
I can log in with Facebook though, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do that because I'm signed into my Facebook right now.
Mhm.
Oh, it makes me sign in again. This is always fun. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Fingers crossed. I remember this. Okay, here we go.
What's your kid's name and your birthday? Your wife's birthday. That's how you do it, right?
Yeah. Let me see.
Daddy, I see you.
You see me?
Yeah. So the email that I
He's still
created.
live, so I can't do goofy
Let me
faces.
see. I'm trying to remember my password. It's pretty long. Okay, I got two-factor authenticity on, so it's going to text me to make sure if I get it. So let me see that 6-digit code. Come on, Facebook. Don't fail me now. I'm joining the team if it'll send me this text.
You joining?
Well, I'm trying, but so I'm logging into my Facebook to
It's
But-
doing that make you.
it's making me, it says it's
Authenticated.
sending me a text unless it's emailing it to me. Yeah, apparently I've asked for a 6-digit login code whenever
So when you
someone
get
tries to
that,
log in.
go ahead and log in that way,
Okay.
and then it'll tell. You'll be able to know that you did it. You'll click back on Braden's team,
Okay.
and you'll see that you're in there. I'm gonna text you all day to make sure you do it.
Okay, yeah, no, watch. I'm going to do it as soon as
Be like, hey, bro,
it'll let me do it.
I'm calling your wife right now. And she's gonna. All right, Braden, you ready?
Cool. Hey, man. Thank you so much, and I'm going to I'll keep following you and all the cool things, and I'm excited to be on the team.
Hey, Braden, come back here so you can take a picture.
Let's get a photo.
Okay.
You ready? 1, 2, 3. All right.
Thanks, Braden. High five.
Hey, brother.
All right. Hey, I'll see you. Hit me up if you need anything.
Okay, man. Appreciate you.
Here we go, folks. As soon as, and I haven't gotten this text yet, but I'm going to make sure that I do join the team. You can join on Braden's team too, so we can be on the same team together. Make sure that you let me know whenever you, hey, Jordan donated. Thank you, Jordan. Also, yeah, let me know if y'all donate too. It's going to be a lot of fun. We are going to be talking to Wild Bill. Hey, what's up? You can come have a seat over here. We're on Facebook Live already, and we're about to switch it over and go on to the FM as well.
Texas Select season inside.
Woo! Texas Select. Thank you, sir.
You got it.
I like this one. It's kind of like it's like the camo colors, but it's not a camo print. Is this like a snake's
It's a cryptic camo.
Okay,
And
cool.
It's kind of got redfish color, so it's great on the coast.
Ah, yeah. So, hey, how you been, man? You've been
Doing-
busy, huh?
Doing great. Yes, sir. I can't complain.
I hear that. I'm glad that you're here in Texas Select Seasoning, Wild Bills. You are out like hunting raccoons, making tacos. You've been a busy man, huh?
Yes, sir. I try to stay busy.
Yeah. So, in the description, that's what I had put. I was like, we're going to be talking about, Wild Bills, Texas Select Seasoning, and raccoon tacos, because apparently you make a mean raccoon taco.
Yes, sir. That's one of the things I like to do in the wintertime at deer camp. So we make all different types of tacos. I hunt hogs year-round, venison, rabbits, a lot of small game like raccoons, but usually in the wintertime. Summer, I usually don't mess with the small game. It's usually wintertime. Let them fatten up good.
Yeah. What kind of hunting's going on right now?
It's bow season for whitetail. I hunt along the Natchez River in East Texas, outside of Colemanville, and it's set up there. I'll be there going next Thursday for about 4 days. Hadn't had any luck so far. The acorns started dropping early,
Yeah.
so the deer are in heavy cover right now. And, of course, most of them out there don't come out to feeders anyhow. You need to walk and stalk quite a bit.
Yeah, so it's bow season, so you can only hunt with a bow right now.
This with a bow or crossbow.
Is that what
your
you
preference?
do? You like? I mean, do you prefer that like that, or is it just like, hey,
I really do, and I wish once rifle season starts, it's kind of hard to bow hunt unless you hunt during the week, as sound carries so far, especially along the river. We're separated. The land is separated. There's thousands of acres out there on either side, but that sound travels quite a bit. So once the deer start getting spooked, it's really more difficult to get that close range shot that you need for bow hunting. And that's where crossbows come in handy, actually. I've got a Raven crossbow now, and I use it twofold. I use it for night vision, mainly for one of my sponsors called Night Sight, Nitesite.
Cool.
They're based here in the U.S. The corporate office is in the U.K., but they're based out of Texas. And I night hunt with wild hogs. I call them rooters. And if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you see a lot of that. So that crossbow is really nice because you have a scope on it. It kind of has the feel of a rifle. You put the night vision setup on there and go. And also during the day, it gives you that longer shot, whereas a traditional bow or a recurve or a long bow, you're looking anywhere from 15 to a 30, maybe 40-yard shot. Crossbows now travel over 400 feet a second. I mean, why not go for an 80-yard shot, a 90-yard shot? You can shoot consistent at 100 yards.
Yeah.
Conditions are right.
How long you been like hunting and doing all this? Seems like you're very knowledgeable.
I've hunted my entire life, so it's just I'm an outdoor guy, and just love to hunt. So
Did you see Arnold won the Taco Cook-Off?
I did.
He cleaned up shop.
I saw that. My wife was at a family gathering in Louisiana. I really wanted to be here and make that and cook some wild game tacos. I certainly keep a freezer year round full of wild boar and venison. So, but congrats to Arnold. He's a good friend of mine. He's got a great cooking team. I've competed against him many times on the circuit, but we're all friends.
Yeah.
The barbecue family truly is a family. And there's a lot of teams out there that we respect each other. On competition day, we want to get out there and win, but at the same time, we shake hands and hug each other's neck and move on to the next one. Everybody has a good time.
Yeah. Were you surprised that he won?
No, I'm not surprised. I mean, Arnold's a great cook, and his son Jason's a great cook, and he's got a team as well, and they won the county fair this year. So, a lot of great cooks in Galveston County. They're spread all over this county.
Yeah, Los Primos they won Galveston County, and that's whenever we met you out there for the first time. And then I believe Bayou Fest is this Saturday, and I'm not fully aware how all of it works, but there's like 3 big events. I think they call them the Triple Crown.
That's a Triple Crown, yes.
And that's that last event is
That's
Bayou
it.
Fest.
Uh-huh.
What's the first one? Because there's the county
fair.
County fair.
It's the largest county fair cook-off in the state, so that kicks it off. And then they have the second one, which is Hitchcock Good Old Days, and then it's going to be Bayou Fest. Texas City Fun Fest used to be involved. Now it's different.
Okay. But that's a big deal. I mean, you win the Triple Crown, and that's the bragging rights for forever, right?
It is the bragging rights, not just for the county, but a lot of the teams here, including our team when we were competing, we won the Triple Crown back in 2016 and the Gulf Coast Seafood Grand Championship. Go on, a lot of teams, including us, go on to cook the World Championships, the Memphis in May, KCBS events, all the way up to the World Championships in Kansas City. So it's kind of a stepping platform to get this award. What's sad about this event is, as big as it is, and as many teams as travel down here, it's great for bragging rights and you win some money. But since it's not sanctioned, you don't really get those perks. You don't get your invite to go to Jack Daniels. You don't get your invite to go to Kansas City, to the American Royal, things like that. Like
Talking
other
about
events.
BioFest? Talking about BioFest?
No, the Triple Crown.
The Triple Crown. Okay.
Or
okay.
the county fair. The county fair is being as large as it is. There's those perks aren't available.
What can
That's
we do to
sad.
change that?
Well, you can't because the community there is set in their ways, and that's it. It is how it is, in other words. And if you want to play by the rules, you cook, and if you don't, you don't. But for cooks that like to compete and want to take it to that next level, and not only see how they compete on the local level, but on the national level, that's the only way to do it. So what they're doing now is going to sanction events like IBCA, International Barbecue Cookers Association events. You could have an event with only 50 teams present that would qualify for a state championship, that would qualify you for a drawing for the Jack Daniels and also for Kansas City. Alvin Music Festival, when we won it one year, we grand champion, we got our golden ticket to Kansas City. So there's a lot of events out there that are a lot smaller, but the quality of the cooks are really up there because these guys are chasing points and they're trying to compete. But locally, and some of those guys come here, teams hire them to cook to help them win. But in the end, there's no those perks aren't there, to take it to that next level. You win locally, you get the bragging rights, and it really is a tough event. As many entries cross that table and as many samples come in, it's really, really a tough event to stay up on top.
Wow. All right, so we got 15 seconds. We're going to switch it over to the FM, and we had a question, and I'll go ahead and ask it whenever we got these 10 seconds left. But here we go. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. That was Zach Williams. The song is Survivor. It's 10:07 a.m. on a Monday morning. I got the Wild Bill here in studio, and we've had an opportunity to talk before. Wild Bill, how's it going?
It's going great.
I'm glad you're here. I see you got the Texas Select, swag with the shirt and the hat.
Yes,
you gave
sir.
one for me, so thank you.
Yes, sir.
So I had a question. This is from Jordan with ET Lockouts, and he was out here as one of the vendors for our Taco Cook-Off. But Jordan wants to know, what's your Instagram, your Facebook? How can he find you?
Texas Select Seasonings everywhere. So Instagram is Texas Select Seasonings, and on Facebook it's Texas Select Seasons. I have a personal page on Facebook. Facebook. It's William R. Powell in Texas City. We've moved to Texas City now. But just do a search for Texas Select Seasonings, plural, and that's us. Yeah,
you've had a go of it, and I think that after Harvey, because you have a brand, you've been doing this for a long time.
Since 85.
Yeah, you had to do a little bit of switch up. Can you kind of go through your story as far as how you ended up, over here at Gulfway Plaza right here in Lamarck?
Well, we've actually got moved twice over the years from hurricanes. Hurricane Ike, we were at Mall of the Mainland. We had a huge retail showroom there at one time, and then when Hurricane Ike hit, the ceilings collapsed. We had a lot of damage there, so that forced us to move from there south down the highway. We found a vacated metal building, revamped it, moved into it, and was there for many years. Had a big rearing horse out in front of it. Everybody knew it. There were several landmarks out in the front that knew our location, so they came from all over. We were highly visible, so it was great. And then when Harvey came through, not only did we lose our home in South Santa Fe, we lost our manufacturing facility where we actually made our spices. All that was wiped out. And then on top of that, we lost the retail store. So my wife and I sat down and had to reevaluate. When you're sitting there looking around in temp housing, in 400 plus square foot, when you're used to having a home and land and buildings and everything, it kind of like, let's reevaluate everything. What are we going to do? We're not going to give up. Obviously, we've done it too long. So, but it's really a tough position to start over again. And we had gotten hit also by the April flood they call the Tax Day flood. That had wiped us out, and we were on Fox 26 News, my wife and I, and not exactly the way I want to make the news, but we had rebuilt from that, and it was an area that was not required to have flood insurance on homes, and we lived in that area for over 20 years through our marriage, so we didn't have the proper coverage on that house, so we rebuilt out of our savings, and we were in the house 8 days, and Harvey came through and wiped it all out. So it was really a tough go for about 14 months. But, it's with the grace of God and prayer, and family, friends, a lot of people that reached out, helped us a lot.
Yeah.
So now we're rebuilt. We're in Gulfway Plaza here. The unfortunate thing about Gulfway Plaza is the visibility. Nobody can find us. We moved to another suite when Texas Parks and Wildlife moved their fisheries division out. We took that suite over, which now allows us to hang banners toward the freeway. So people are like, whoa, there they are. They're starting to see us because it's the out-of-town folks, not the locals. The locals know us. They follow us on social media. It's the out-of-town folks that's come through for whatever business they have in Galveston that used to see us on the highway when it's gone, it's just a slab out there. And people are so active on social media. The problem was we had so many people tag us permanently closed. Well, the business, we were forced shut down because of the storm, but we never went out of business. Never filed bankruptcy, never went out of business. We just struggled through it. And so now trying to make a comeback, We finally got banners out there. That's the first banners that went up almost right at a month ago since Harvey. That's a long time.
Yeah.
And it's been a rough go over there with that strip center. We weren't exactly allowed to do the things we needed to do to be successful, but it's coming around now. Slowly but surely, people starting to walk through the door and said, "Oh, we thought you were out of business, and I'm so glad to see you back." So it's been great. We finally got those banners up to help us out.
Yeah, we went in the other day just to kind of chat, and there was a customer that came in that was talking about some of the furniture that they got there that has like a lifetime warranty. Like, yeah, I got you. I'll do this, and it was really cool to I guess witness the customer service and the kind of I guess loyalty that you have to people that come in your store.
Yes, sir.
Is that important?
Yeah, it's very important. That is your business. When I started Texas Select Seasons in 1985, I've been on my own since 17. I'm 54 now. But we started making that product in mason jars, and I went to farmers markets. And back then there was no social media. There was no cell phones, shooting videos. There was no Instagram, none of that stuff. You actually went door to door, knocking on doors, shaking people's hands. That's how business was built, truly grassroots. Nowadays, a person can bring a product to market, and within 30 days, they're blowing up all over social media, and they've got customers. It was a little bit different back then. So I really applaud the technology and the direction that we've gone. But back then, it was a different ballgame. And people that are growing up in this era of high tech really can't appreciate the struggles, from back then. So
yeah.
I'm sure glad, because social media is what helped relaunch us and relaunch our brand, even though people have known us for over 30 years through that brand. The folks that don't, it's like we're brand new to them with social media.
Yeah. Here's another question. It said, hey, so you do a lot of hunting. Mm-hmm. Do you do any hunting for gators? Because they want to know if there's gator tacos ever in the mix.
No, I actually don't personally hunt gators. The guys at Hall's Bio Ranch, the guides out there, my friend Aaron Weaver, every year when they go out and they harvest, they bring customers down to fill the tags. They bring the meat to me, and I'll cook a couple things for them. I make a sauce piquant for them, and also we do some gator sausage, with my seasonings. We put it all together for them and then let them give it out to the customers or what have you. But personally, I've never gator hunted myself. It just really doesn't interest me. I'm a wild hog hunter, what I call rooters. I chase them. I love the night hunt for them. I love the bow hunt. I love the surf fish. And it's something I'm going to get back into pretty soon. But I grew up doing it near Bryan Beach along the Brazos River. That's where I like to fish out there. But kind of got away from that with all the years of hunting. And now after the storm, when I was up in one of my barns and in the very top, one of the things that survived was this little box of reels. And I saw my newel reels and some pins, and I said, you know what? I'm going to get them back in action. It's time to go catching redfish and sharks in the surf.
Okay, so I remember seeing swamp people. I know you said you have never, but it was really interesting. Louisiana, you get the tags, you fill them up. It seemed like it was like kind of dangerous, a lot of fun. You got to know what you're doing, or at least go with somebody who is experienced and knows what they're doing. But the thing that's most intriguing is eating it. And so I think I would be with you. Just like, hey, y'all go, catch me the gator. We can use Wild Bill's Texas Select seasoning, and I'm there to eat the gator tacos or just eat some gator. What's the secret whenever you get that meat and you're cooking it? Like, how did you prepare? You smoke it or fry it?
No, a lot of times I cook it in cast iron. I like to smother it down, especially the sauce piquant.
Yeah.
And then everything, of course, going into the sausage is ground up. But the main thing is processing it, getting all the connective tissue out, getting down to the good meat, and grinding it up. But yeah, you can barbecue the ribs and things like that. But the tail meat and all that usually cooked down into sauce piquant with vegetables and spicy peppers and seasonings, a lot of herbs, and then eaten over rice. That's how a lot of people like it.
Are you equal part chef, equal part hunter?
I guess you could say that. I'm a field to table kind of guy. And even though barbecue, people know us through our seasonings and competitions, and really the only reason I competed over the years was to sell my product. That's the best way to get out there. Is if you're on the stage winning trophies, people are like, what are you using? Well, it's this. And back in the mid 80s, when everything was truly dry rub and stick burners,
yeah,
I had mason jars with a piece of masking tape on there with the name of the product on it. And some of the products that I was making back then are still winning today. I don't mean just winning on the circuit themselves. They're winning. This year in Kansas City, the National Barbecue Association annual conference was in Kansas City, and they have basically the barbecue Olympics, and they give out a gold, silver, and medal, bronze, big medallions, and it's for best radio, barbecue radio broadcast or podcast or what have you, and then also gets down to products. And in the pork division, for rubs, my oldest recipe, the Juicy Pig, won gold this year again. So that old dog's still hunting.
So there's an award for the best, barbecue podcast?
Yes, there is. At the National Barbecue Association annual conference, they do awards. It's broken down by multiple categories, even TV shows, the best barbecue TV shows. And they break it all down. People vote on it. And then they actually have culinary chefs that come in and actually prepare the stuff with the rubs. It's a little bit different. But it's votes on the TV shows and the podcast.
That's cool. And that's in Kansas City?
Every year it's a different location when they
Okay.
hold the annual conference. This year was in Kansas City.
All right, cool. So Kansas City's known for, barbecue and their style, and then I guess Texas is as well. In your opinion, what do you take your style if you're smoking meat or you're cooking? Are you a mixture of everything, or do you have something specific?
No, I'm a Texas boy and a country boy. I'm half Hispanic, so a lot of my stuff involves citrus, a lot of herbs. I use a lot of hot chilies. Harvest the wild chili bequeen, and that's in several of my products, whether it be the salsa or my dry products. It's something I believe in. I call it Garcia love because my grandmother Garcia, I used to harvest those for her, and she would make the fresh salsa with it. So I've got influences on both sides of my family, from the East Texas side to the South Texas side, and so I'm all Texas based. But if you read some of my recipes and see the way I cook, it's a little bit different twist on some things that I do.
Yeah, you mentioned that over there in Kansas City, the people are using your products and they're winning.
Oh yeah.
Even over here when you were hanging out.
Good food is good food. Doesn't
no
matter where you're
at Galveston County, I know there's some teams around here that use your stuff too as well, right?
Oh yes, sir.
Who all? Is there any teams you can shout out?
No, I better not.
Okay. I mean, sometimes people are pretty protective.
They are.
We were hanging out with
Now,
Los Primos.
I do have some sponsored teams locally. Shake and Bake, Josh Fuller and those guys. They use a product and they've been winning. And they came originally from a team called Real Deal Cookers, and Real Deal Cookers used to dominate this area. And then they split off and formed different teams. One of the team members broke away for some time, take care of some family situations, but then they formed Shake and Bake, and Shake and Bake's done quite well. They were in the Triple Crown run-in last year, and they're winning all over. So they're one of my sponsor teams, so I can say for sure, they use the product. But there's just a lot of teams across the country, and as a manufacturer that's not competed anymore, after the storms we were knocked out. At least we went out on top, after winning the Triple Crown and all that in 2016. 2017 is when both storms happened, and since then I haven't really competed. Except we do Yagas in Galveston. It's on my birthday weekend, so it's kind of a celebratory type thing. But other than that, I let these guys, carry the torch. Shake and Bake and the other sponsor teams carry it forward. But we do have a lot of teams across the country, whether it be KCBS sanctioned, IBCA, what have you, even Memphis Barbecue Network, that use my products. One of the gentleman that won the World Food Championship steak last year is one of my customers. I won't say exactly what product or how he does it, but he won the World Food last year, and he's in the running again this year.
Do you miss it? Do you miss competing? Do you ever get the itch and say, I want to go back out there and show them how it's done?
I do, because it's very unique, and it just feels great when you walk that stage and you win it all. But you know what? Again, it's my life's kind of transitioned for us, and it's kind of changed forever, I do believe. I don't see myself ever getting back into it full time. Because the financial side I have to get going. Even though when we were up and running good, it was pretty much fun in itself. But right now I want to focus on writing recipes. I write for Waves Magazine out of Galveston. I think your camera's over here.
Yeah, you can see it right here.
This one here.
Mm-hmm.
Waves out of Galveston. And I write for social media content, write for companies. Fixing to start a video series, actually get you guys involved. And I'm going to do some field-to-table type videos coming up where we'll take the collection of my recipes, and I've got enough to make 3 cookbooks. But these days, a cookbook's kind of boring compared to, they're good to put on the shelf and collect them, but everybody's so engaged with social media, and they're loving these little video clips and things that's on Instagram and Facebook and what have you. So I want to target that audience and let them know who we are and what our history is. I want to tell the full story, not just what my story is today, what I'm cooking today. So that's important to me, is take that collection of the last 3 decades of what I've written and all the journals that I've kept, and turn that into a video series, starting off with the field to table, which is my true passion. Wild game and seafood is my passion. Barbecue is just something that we do every day. We can cook, and it's fun, but you can do that blindfolded.
Yeah. So first episode video, do you already have it picked out? Like, what's the recipe and what does the meat entail?
Well, it's either going to be, I love to cook whole muscle or shanks, things like that you can smoke and then braise down over time until it's just tender. A lot of people, they look past those cuts. They want to throw everything in the grinder, make sausage and things like that. When I cape an animal out, I'm looking at the different cuts of meat this is going to be venison guisado over here, this will be a stew over here, and I'm going to cook these shanks down over here. I'll make tacos with this, and then some of it I'll grind up, and then very little of it, I chicken fry. Like, that's really traditional. A lot of people like to chicken fry and make gravy. I don't do a lot of that. I do a lot of smother down with gravy and hot peppers, and eat it with white rice or Spanish rice and beans and things like that. That's the way I like to cook it.
Yeah, you mentioned the influence. You said even like, Grandma Garcia on the Hispanic side. So growing up, was there a lot of, recipes like this, or was it more traditional food? And then you kind of were like, hey, I like hunting, so let's make this work.
Well, there really never was any recipes. My family on both sides, they lived off the land. And so we harvested things, we butchered things, and we made everything from scratch. Nobody really had a recipe. I created recipes over the years to kind of document my life and document things that I developed, because I liked this, but I didn't like that. So same thing with my products. I wanted to make something that was unique to the industry, something that would last, something that could hang and compete with the big companies out there. And same thing with cooking. I want to share the experiences that I've had and share the culture on both sides of my family with the world. And that's why I create these recipes. But nobody in my family really opened up a cookbook or had anything written out. Everything was just made from scratch by hand, and and that's how I cook at home. I don't follow a recipe. I cook by sight and smell and taste, and that's it.
So you mentioned living off the land. So what was like a typical meal? Like, is there anything that what did it look like?
Javelina, cooked in the ground whole, venison, cooked in cast iron skillet. My grandmother made all different type of stewed meats for tacos, whether it be wild game or domestic. So I'd go out most times. I spent my summers there, and they raised me, and I'd go out and harvest early in the morning the wild chili piquins and bring those in for my grandmother, and she'd make homemade tortillas, and she'd make the salsa and everything. While my grandpa and I went out and worked on the fences, stretched barbed wire, worked on the barn, worked on the tractor, mowed, whatever the job was for the day. My grandpa believed in working from sun up to sundown, and so he really instilled some great work ethics into me. And while my grandmother, she stayed in, and she never learned to drive in her life. My grandpa took her once a month to town to get whatever her personal she needed and groceries. But then my grandpa went to auction all the time. He was always buying and selling livestock. And so he would pick up everything else that she needed. But everything was made right there on the little ranchette that they had.
And that's where you grew up? You grew up there?
I spent my summers there. They raised me there. So. And when you read the bio about me on my website, the 3 most influential people in my life are my grandma and Grandpa Garcia and my father.
Did you enjoy those summers? Is that what you looked forward to?
Oh, I did.
At that time? Yeah.
Oh, I did. I really did. I did. It was hard work, but you didn't look at it that way. It was just getting the job done, whatever Grandpa needed to get done, and going to auction and rounding up goats or cattle or whatever it was we was hauling back and forth, and then hunting. We allowed certain time to go out there and hunt. Hunt quail, javelina, deer, whatever.
When it wasn't summer, did you hang out with people who were like they would go hunt too?
No, actually, when I spent the summers with my grandparents, it was like day-to-day activity was what was happening right there. Relatives that would come to see us would come from Corpus Christi, Falfurrias, San Diego, all around the area and visit us. We never really packed up and went anywhere to visit anybody. It was like when I moved in there to spend the summer, I lived there and we worked there. So it wasn't like gathering. When we did any kind of cooking, our family came. They came there to the ranch, and that's where we ate.
Yeah. As far as like hunting and fishing, do you think that there are like the new generation? I'm thinking about people coming up. I know there are people, my dad loves fishing, but for me, like when I'd go fishing as a kid, but I wish I could more. Do you think that, more people should be doing it?
I really do. Because, these kids nowadays just getting into social media. They constantly want to check on their status and look this, that, and other. They're missing the most beautiful sunrises, sunsets. They're missing that opportunity to explore nature, to truly appreciate what God's created for us to enjoy. And just like canning, when I was growing up, all my family canned. And canning's kind of a lost art. You don't see too many young kids nowadays wanting to can anything. And it's like, wait a minute, that's preserving your own food, making your own food, putting things up for later, raising gardens. You don't see kids wanting to do that anymore. So I feel like a lot of that culture is kind of slipping away with social media. That's the negative side of social media. But they learn things there. They can Google, they can go here and look at whatever. I mean, there's a guy that went and cooked a cast iron. He took a cast iron skillet on a fire and grilled a steak for the first time. Realized he could do that. It had 1 million views online. It's like
you dug a hole in the ground, huh? Like just had a fire right
he
there.
He just built a fire, put a cast iron skillet, and grilled a steak on there, and people thought he invented fire. So there's a whole. That tells me how many people out there have never explored the great outdoors, and that's kind of scary. But as far as my family and the people that I know and their kids, yeah, they're all passing down through the generation. That's what I like, because my niece was the best hunter I ever took out in the woods, and taught her how to hunt, took her on some good hunts. She's a crack shot. She was a sniper with that rifle, and there was nothing she couldn't hit and take down. And she loved the outdoors, and she's married, moved on now. She lives in Utah, but she could outshoot most guys that I knew. It's getting that family involved is very, very important.
Is that part of why you want to put more on social media, the recipes, the videos, so that way you can help inspire this next generation?
I do. I just feel like we're losing hold of some of these kids, and they need to get out there and they need to get in the woods and they need to learn how to cook some of these things. And when their dad's hunting and they're not, and there's a freezer full of meat, just go in there and maybe learn how to cook it, and prepare it for the table. That's just as important as harvesting the game.
Wow. All right. So right now it is 10:27. This is KHEARadio.com, 99.5 FM. If you're watching on Facebook, feel free to share this video out. If you have any questions, let us know. We'll get those asked. We'll get them answered. Texas Select Seasonings, they're available for purchase. How can somebody find your store location and pick up some of your seasonings?
The store is in Lamarck. It's 11,001 Delaney Road, Suite 13009. Excuse me. Our phone number is 409-392-8199, and the website is TexasSelectSeasonings.com. Then find us on Instagram, Texas Select Seasons, and Facebook.
All right. So if someone walks in the store, what can they expect? Because you don't carry just the seasonings. You have other stuff, too.
I do. We sell outdoor furniture. It's all about the outdoor experience. We have outdoor Camp Chef grills. We have pellet grills. We have outdoor poly furniture. It's made here in the U.S. by the Amish. So most of it has a 20-year to lifetime warranty. It's things that you're going to hang on to and pass down. It's well built. And then we have all our products from our seasonings. We don't make just seasonings. We make barbecue rubs. We make all-purpose seasonings, very spicy things, which is my side of it. I love salsa. We make finishing glazes for barbecue, pepper jellies, things like that. So we have pickled products there. So a lot of things to look over while you're in our store. It's a small 3,500 square foot store now versus what we had, on the highway, the big building. But it's all the space that we need right now. Yeah. Mainly want to get the word back out that we are alive and come on by and see us.
I know in the past, I think you've done some even outdoor, hey, let's smoke, or grill some meat out there, outside the store.
I do. I fire up there on the weekends when I'm in town and just pass out, samples to customers. But also we're going to start some cooking classes. There's a lot of people getting into wood pellet grills. And wood pellet grills are as easy to use as a gas grill, but the main difference is you're burning wood full time with the pellets, so you got that beautiful flavor from the wood versus gas grill. You don't have any flavor in gas. And so we want to teach people how to prepare their meals and do more outdoor cooking, and get out of the kitchen every once in a while, get outside, enjoy the patio and enjoy the yard and have the family get involved. And these things are safe. There's no propane bottles and things like that. So younger kids can be taught how to grill at a real young age all the way up. When I grew up, we always built fires, and cooked everything outdoors that way. But nowadays, you can plug it in, turn a switch on, and it feeds down. You actually have fire down below, and you're burning wood pellets, but it's pretty much all automated for you.
It feeds itself, right?
It feeds itself. You
the pellets just
got to cook the meat.
It just goes and falls down as needed, right?
As needed.
That's crazy. It sounds like easy. I couldn't even mess it up.
Well, you can still burn the meat up. Because there's some of them that cook directly over fire, like the black olive. It's a ceramic line grill where you have a ring of fire down below and there's no baffle in between. So when you're grilling on the cast iron grate up top, you're actually searing. So this thing can get 500, 600, 700 degrees. I usually grill steaks on it about 500 degrees, but it does a beautiful job. And the other ones have baffle plates, where the fire's down below and it creates more of a convection hot air to cook in there with the smoke. So that's a little bit different setup. We have all types.
That's awesome. We're going to take a quick break on the FM. We're going to keep it going on Facebook. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. We're talking to Wild Bill with Texas Select Seasonings, located right here on Delaney Road in Gulfway Plaza. Make sure you go check them out. Cool. Yeah, the wood pellet grill, I think I was talking to your wife about it. I was like, is this considered cheating You know, I think a lot of people, like if you're, you know, someone like you grew up making fires and then, you know, competing on the circuits, and then it's like, oh, they have this wood pellet grill where I can plug it in. It's going to feed the pellets, and I don't have to like watch the fire and all night. You know, I can set it and it should work, you know.
Well, no, I don't consider it cheating because, you know, everybody has different circumstances on what they're using it for. Not everybody's going to be using this for a competition, and they're not allowed here in Galveston County. They're allowed in all the sanctioned events. But for cooking dinner, like for my wife and I, we're self-employed. We stay busy all the time trying to make it go with everything. If we're not making spices, we run the retail store, or we're making deliveries. We're doing something. Her and I run the whole operation. And so when we get home, the convenience of being able to fire this up, get it up to temp while I'm seasoning the meat on the counter while she's making the sides or a salad or whatever it may be for that night, can throw it on, cook our meal, take it off, turn it off, let it cool itself down. In the old days, you'd build a fire, you know, with charcoal, what have you, on an old smoky. You'd grill, and then you're always looking for something else to put on there because you still have a few coals left in there. You don't want to waste them, you know, and it just sits there until it smolders out finally. Well, these, they're eco-friendly, so they're going to burn out exactly what's in the fire pit, and everything in the hopper is going to stay off to the side, ready for next time when you fire it up. So they're extremely convenient for cooking dinner in a hurry, you know, get it done, depending on what temperature they can run at. Steaks, you can go out there, get it to 500 degrees. You're searing your steak, you're done in 8 minutes, and you turn it off. You know, it's quick, and the flavor and the quality of it's incredible. So that's what I like them for. As far as competition, I'm all for it. I wrote an article about this years ago, and I was having a little issue when the market really exploded and everybody was getting into wood pellet grills, and so many more manufacturers getting on board. Once Traeger's patent ran out and everybody started making pellet grills, you know, I kind of was thinking, well, you know, it's technology. It's kind of like a smartphone. You know, we didn't have phones with video cameras, but I enjoy it now. You know, and I enjoy social media. It's a way to connect. You know, I don't have to go knock on everybody's door and try to reach everybody and give them an update. I can update one time on social media and everybody sees it, right? So I kind of feel the same way about pellet grills, to each their own, you know, and even in competition. I enjoy still a stick burning competition. That's the way I compete, you know, but that's me. That's my preference. I like the finished flavor. I like the finished look. And this year at Kansas City at the American Rural, a Texan won it for the second time, Fred Robles, and he cooks on a stick burner. So you're not going to really see a wood pellet grill winning a national championship or winning a world championship. Now, they'll win a category here and there, and they'll do well with it. Hot thing on the market right now is drums. People love cooking these 55-gallon drums with chunks of wood, you know, doing very well. A lot of good competition cooks on that. But as far as pellet grills, they are what they are, and I think they should be allowed everywhere. If that's what a person wants to use to represent their quality of barbecue, I say more power to them. Let it go.
All right. I like that. I like that look on it. Makes sense. And it works. You know, if it works for you, it works. And I'm a big fan of technology and embracing, like, as things advance. Mm-hmm. If it works for you, it works for you and makes life a little bit easier. Why would you want to live harder on purpose, you know? So
that's right, because you can always go backwards. Mm-hmm. But one of the issues I have with technology, and I teach folks, is that, you know, if I'm doing a class, I'm teaching people how to cook. If they want to, how far back basic do you want to learn, right? Mm-hmm. Kind of like photography. I grew up, you know, reading Ansel Adams books. You know, he was my inspiration to photography, and I love landscape and nature photography and old cameras. I had old 1969 Yashica Mat 124G, which is a twin lens reflex camera. Most people don't know what that is. So I shot with all manual cameras, film, developed my own film. I learned the process from the beginning up. Nowadays, I just got the iPhone Pro. My God, what this thing can do. 4K video, high resolution photographs, unbelievable. So now a person can start there and create incredible content for social media, but they don't learn the basics. They don't learn about lighting, composition, what we call the rule of thirds, you know, in landscape photography. All the basics are being tossed aside. And the same thing with cooking. You know, there are basics to cooking, whether you're starting a fire or any type of meal that you prepare. Anybody can follow a recipe, but truly understanding that, truly understanding browning and braising and this and that, a lot of kids don't. It's like what they learn on social media is what they know, and they never go backwards. They only go forwards. Mm-hmm. And for the folks that want to learn true barbecue or true outdoor cooking, want to learn how to prepare that game, that's why I want this series to come out, because we are going to do some things over open fires. We're going to do some things on Camp Chef griddles. We're going to do some things on a wood pellet grill, because most people that camp nowadays, I mean, they have trailers. I mean, back in the day when I started up, you know, we had campfires in a tent, you know, and yeah. I don't care if it was 20 degrees outside, you know, that's what we had. back then. It's all we could afford. And nowadays, you pretty much got electricity, lights, you can set up anything you want. But I want to go back and show traditional cooking as well as using modern equipment.
So Texas Select Barbecue, Texas Select Seasonings, it's been around since 1985. What in the world inspired you to, start a brand, start your own product? And how did that process go whenever you started back then?
The influence from both sides of my family, as I mentioned earlier, and the fact is I just wanted to create something unique, something different. And in the beginning, I made it in mason jars and just sold it to people at farmers markets or folks that I met that, hey, you want to try something new? I would make and sell my salsa. Didn't have a brand back then, just had stickers on there and had a name of the product on there that I'd already come up with. And then over the years, I started learning about trademarks. I wanted to trademark some of my names and slogans to protect it long term. So instead of investing into growing the company, then I invested into protecting the company, which wound up being a wise move. And then as it evolved, I said, I've got to put a name to it, get it branded, go forward with everything. And that day came in the 90s. And I said, I went and filed in Galveston County, did my DBA, got everything set up, went to the state, got everything certified. And then from then on, it was Texas Select Seasonings. And, created the logo and went forward with it. And then from there, it just grew, because then as things evolved, we could reach more people, and the internet came out, ways to reach folks. And then we got featured in magazines as we would win some things. Before all the social media, we were actually featured in several magazines, national magazines, whether it be a recipe, whether it be a win from a contest, what have you. And that really helped launch the brand. And then the products themselves went in, not just the cooking, but the products. We would ship them off to national contests. One's called the Golden Chili Awards. It's won multiple awards. So over the years, the products became highly decorated. And so they kind of launched themselves, basically. But it truly was a grassroots start in mason jars. So it was.
If the growth that you've had since then and everything that you've learned, and even talking about since Harvey, it hasn't been an easy journey. Why do you just keep going, like every day? You mentioned earlier, like, hey, we didn't file for bankruptcy. We probably could have. We just continued, hey, we're going to battle through it and keep going. What is it that keeps you fighting and going and moving forward?
It's just that drive that was instilled in me by my Marine father and my grandpa Garcia. And, I feel like if I quit, I let them down. So that's not going to happen.
Not an option, huh?
No option.
Yeah. So
plus, we got to make a living,
Yeah.
I'm 54. Who wants to hire me now? Now, I'm self-employed. I've been that way my whole life, and I plan on going out that way.
Ideally, where do you see yourself in, 5 years, 10 years? What's the final goal for Texas Select and for you, Wild Bill?
Well, I'd like to partner with another major company, maybe a pit manufacturer or something later on, and really take the brand national. That's we ship nationally and we ship internationally through the website, but actually have it on all the shelves. We just don't have that distribution network set up right now, nor do we have the funds to invest in that. So I would like to later on possibly, and I've already interviewed, I've talked to a couple of folks, possibly partner with another major company that can take the brand where it needs to be. And I would like to see it in all the shelves across the country is where I'd like to see it, and really, really give it the representation that it deserves.
Yeah, there was couple of snacks. They are local, I believe, to like the Pearland, like Houston area. We had them in probably about a year ago now, and they have chips. It's like a snap chip mix. Mm-hmm. And there was an HEB competition where you enter it in and you kind of get down to the final one, and they ended up getting picked up, and now they they'll launch them in one HEB, in two, and then they kind of see how it does. Mm-hmm. But also they're out there like in the stores. That's one of the cool things I love, HEB, where they'll be able to kind of hustle their product and be like, hey, come and try this. This is my salsa. It's my dip. It's my pickled this or my seasoning. This is cooked on it, But, yeah, trying to get those connections, relationships, I'm sure.
Well, landing the count's not the big deal. We could land 50 counts next week. It's supplying those accounts. That's what it takes.
So
right now, with our production facilities, the smaller facility now that we have since we lost the bigger one to Harvey, is everything that we're manufacturing, we're selling every week. One week you go in my store at the beginning of the week, the shelves are full. By the end of the week, they're empty. And we're not even picking up the wholesale accounts that we used to have. We're the primary ones that's been with us since the beginning. They're like, I got to have your product. Yeah, we take care of these folks first, but a lot of the requests that are coming in, and we mainly fill the mom and pop shops first. That's our priority. We've never really gone to the grocery store chains, and but just trying to take care of those accounts. We're having to turn down accounts every week because the fact is, why take on an account if you can't service that account? And we're not going to do that. We're not going to get ourselves in that situation. But we're at the point now where we have to either get a bigger facility or a partner to take that next step.
So where is it manufactured?
We have a facility leased out right here in the same strip center next to Barsenio's Grill, and that's where the manufacturing facility is set up.
Awesome. So how much can you produce? We
can produce probably 5,000 pounds of raw material a day and then bottle it up. We pump out tens of thousands of bottles. But the thing is, there's only so many hours in a day, and we've got to run the store, we've got to run the manufacturing. Our store is closed on Monday and Tuesdays, mainly to run the facility, the manufacturing facility, and then while my wife runs the stores on slow days, and I'm in a facility, making more product. But we are cranking out some serious numbers, but it's all sold. From small bottles, which is very labor intensive. We just have semi-automatic equipment. We don't have fully auto equipment. So, there's only so many of those you can do. You can make the batches, you can blend the product, but it's actually packaging it and labeling it. That's where a little bit more of the time is involved there.
I got you. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So we got 30 seconds. We'll go back on the FM. If you're watching on Facebook and you have a question, feel free to ask. If you want to find out how you can go purchase some Texas Select seasoning, that's something we can answer as well. It's available right here on Delaney Road in Lamarck, Texas. Here we go. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Right now it's 10:43 a.m. on a Monday morning. This is Kickstart. I'm Gardy, and I got Wild Bill here in studio. We're talking about everything that he has going on. Good morning, Wild Bill.
Morning.
How'd you get that name, Wild Bill?
I love the outdoors, so
it just makes sense.
It just makes sense.
Whenever it comes to, like in the outdoors, like in cooking, and I guess those kind of nicknames just kind of get handed down to you, huh?
A lot of Billies have that Wild Bill, but I actually live up to it.
Yeah. So if somebody's never heard of you or your store, can you kind of walk us through, what you have to offer and the name of your company and how they can find you?
At our retail store, we primarily carry my brand of food products called Texas Select Seasonings. We make barbecue rubs, all-purpose rubs, salsa, finishing glazes, pepper jelly, things like that, wild game, sausage mixes. And we sell outdoor furniture. It's all about the outdoor experience. We sell wood pellet grills, charcoal grills. We sell outdoor poly furniture made by the Amish here in the U.S. It's got a 20-year to a lifetime warranty. So when you walk into our store, number one, you're going to be greeted by my wife or I, Barbara Powell, and she's usually running the store, so you'll see her more than you see me. I try to go over there and meet with the guys and a lot of the cook teams that come in because they always just want to sit around and talk barbecue. But I'm usually in the manufacturer shop making product, and then I come in there to meet some customers. But when you walk in, you're going to be greeted first off, and then you're going to be shown around the store, and then left alone to do what you want to do in there.
Yeah.
And then if you've got any questions, we'll answer it for you, and we'll take care of you.
There's some pretty cool decorations in there.
There is. We have some really nice art in there from some local artists and then some national artists, whether it be Western theme or coastal. We have both.
Mm-hmm. And then there's the shelves that are full. You got pellet smokers. I think even like an egg smoker.
That's a pellet grill also. It's a one of a kind. It's called a black olive. It's a ceramic line. It looks like it's shaped like a green egg, but it's black. But it's a pellet feed, so you can actually just turn it on, let it crank up, and it starts a fire and cooks for you.
All right.
So it gets 500, 600 degrees, so it's really great for searing steak.
If somebody's looking into learning how to start cooking, maybe they haven't been, into barbecue or grown up in that or outdoors, what's the best place for them to start?
Well, they can contact me. I give a lot of information out online and also in person, but I also do classes. So if someone wants to come in and whether it be a competition class, whether it be just a backyard cooking class, we're going to start some classes also to teach people how to use these pellet grills, effectively, and be able to create some really nice meals with them.
All right. And then I believe even a series whenever it comes to being able to cook. Mm-hmm. And it'll be some interesting stuff as well. Like, what do you have in mind for those recipes?
My recipes on the video series I'm coming up with is going to be more of a field to table. So it's going to be predominantly wild game and coastal seafood since we live here along the coast. Where I hunt's 2.5 hours from here outside of Coleman, Texas on the Natchez River in the East Texas Piney Woods. So I'm going to split my time between showing some of my recipes for seafood and wild game that I've created over the last 3 decades that were mostly in print media for national publications and social media. Now are going to come to light in video.
So right now it's bow season, right? Can you walk me through the rest of the year? Like what's coming up and what are you looking forward to the most?
Bow season is really what I look forward to. It's kind of what I call the quiet time in the woods, before it starts sounding off, because the sound of gun firing off travels a long ways. But the open season for rifles is going to be first weekend of next month, November. But really right now, this is my favorite time of the year. I love bow season. And then I hunt year round for wild hogs. I call them rooters. And if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you'll see some of the things that I'm after. I have night vision sponsors, and I go out and test their equipment in the woods. And to me, that's the ultimate hunt right there. You can't see your hand in front of your face. You're out there with night vision. You're traipsing around the woods. You got big boars, 250 plus pounds out there, and they will charge. I'm tracking what I call the solo rooter, the one that travels alone, doesn't run with a sounder, which is a group of pigs, and that's the ones I track. I could kill on barbecue meat and all that. I could kill within 30 minutes of being out in the woods at night, but I'm looking for the big uglies.
Is there no season for them?
No, year round. You can hunt them year round. They're pretty much a nuisance in Texas, and anywhere close to water, you're going to have a lot more of them. We have them pass through our land out there because we're on the Neches River.
Yeah, so there's just a lot of them. And so are you allowed to hunt them with a bow or with
any way you want, any time of the day you want?
Wow. Because
no season.
You mentioned they're a nuisance. Like why? Like what do they do?
Because they tear up the farmers' fields. A lot of farmers get out there and plant, and the hogs come through and just tear them up. So there's actually eradication services out there. There's professionals. In fact, I could be hired that actually go out. The farmers will hire them to eradicate the pigs in their area. And let's go out there and blast them and pile them up for coyote bait.
Wow. Okay. So right now we got about 10 minutes left. We're talking to Wild Bill. Right now it's 10:48. This is KHEARadio.com, 99.5 FM. If you have any questions or thoughts or comments, you're watching on Facebook, feel free to let those make those known on our Facebook stream. This is from Jessica. She said, wonderful people love their seasonings. Whenever you hear something like that, what does that make you feel? Like, what's the thought process whenever you see those people or you see somebody won an award using your product?
We know that we've done something right. And to have that type of relationship like we've had with people since the mid-'80s, and some people are still with us to this day, that really is just phenomenal.
Yeah. And
it's just a great feeling. You can't replace that with anything.
There was a conversation we had the other day when we stopped by the store. You were mentioning about people going viral, like on social media, even some people using, your products, and maybe it was like hashtagging there and not tagged. How does that, does that kind of make you not upset, but it's like, well, that's my product. I could be doing that as well. Or what does that make you feel?
Well, it's just like a missed opportunity. It's like, you can't get upset for someone's success. You're proud of everyone's success. But if people use your product or use your ideas and they launch off of that, then that's really one of those things behind the scenes. You're like, well, if you're going to use my recipe, if you're going to use my product, at least give us a little, credit for it somewhere with a hashtag or something. So, and I will write people like that and be extremely professional about it. But it does happen on social media. People are constantly using other companies' images, recipes, and things like that. And what I share on social media, I share for the world to use. But there is just this common courtesy that was established a long time ago on social media that if you do forward or share someone's information, at least tag them or let them know where it started. And a lot of times if it shares, they can see where it shared from that page. Well, that's good enough right there because they can go back and follow the page. But if they just copy and paste all your stuff and put it into their feed and there's no reference to your company whatsoever and there's no label on the product that's turned around and there's no way that these people even know that you're involved, that's when it's kind of tough. And you got to make a call.
Yeah, being a small business, that's important.
You rely on that. That's
publicity.
Advertising.
Yeah.
Social media is advertising. Because when you go down and out like we did after 2 storms, the first budget that gets cut is your advertising budget. And you need advertising to survive. So what do? You have to reach out to social media. So every little opportunity like that, and sometimes it's a big opportunity that was missed, really hurts because you want to get your name out there. Basically, everything that I do, the competitions that I did were strictly for advertising. And that's what social media is. It's advertising.
This Saturday is Bayou Fest. Are you going to be out there at all?
I won't. Actually, I'm going to be hunting. But our sponsor team, Shake and Bake, will be out there.
Shake and Bake.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I like that name. It's like
You'll love those guys.
Is that who you were out there with at the Galveston?
Yes, actually, I was. I was out there with them that weekend.
Yeah. And you mentioned also, because you know Arnold and Los Primos and Texas Pit Stop Barbecue, it's like I don't know, is it fair to say there's like a barbecue culture? You know, like in
It's a
our area?
barbecue family.
A family.
And it reaches out nationwide, because when we went down with our first flood in April, that tax day flood, and folks saw it on Fox 26, but then it also went all over the internet. We had folks reaching out that I didn't even know were following us, or that were cooks, like on the East Coast, the West Coast, all over. And so the barbecue family is a tight-knit family, and everyone gets along great. And even though we're competitors, you know, at a certain time, we're all friends and we're all looking out for each other. There's always a lot of benefits going on for cooks and things like that, where people reach out. People were reaching out to us wanting to offer help. Can I come help you clean the place out? Can I help you move things? You know, people from other states were actually offering to come down. So yeah, it's a really great community out there. And then locally, you know, it's even tighter.
Yeah.
And folks like Arnold and all that, you know, their family does.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else that you would like to share while you're here today?
About what? Hunting?
Anything about hunting, about the business, about, hey.
Well, I'll actually look forward to working with you guys to produce a video. You're going to bring your equipment down, and we're going to shoot the first video. And I'd like to have you out sometime to the land and bring a drone out and get some of that footage along that Natchez River and get some stuff. That'd be fantastic.
So I have something to admit whenever it comes to hunting. Bows, guns. I've never been hunting. I've been fishing quite a bit because.
But you're with a professional.
See, that's what I need. I need to have a pro there to help guide me, because I've never. My dad, he loves the outdoors, but it's fishing. You know, saltwater fishing. We had a little boat. We'd go out, you know, or anywhere, you know, the dike, wherever, we'd go fishing. But he never really got into hunting. I don't know why, but just never. I've never been hunting.
It's a lot of fun. And again, you know, there's different types of hunting. And
what's a good one to start? Like, so someone
night
like
hunting
me,
for hogs. It's.
Are you sure? I feel like that's the most dangerous one. Like, I feel like I should start with, like, okay, maybe you'll start with a bow, with like deer or something. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But like the hog at night, I feel like that's the most dangerous one.
No, it's fun.
Okay.
And you'll be with me. You'll have a guide.
Okay, I'm gonna be behind you. I feel like if you put me in a backpack and I'm like over your shoulder, and then I'm just like holding the bow, and you're like, give me an arrow, and I give you the arrow, and then you like pop him.
Yeah,
and we're good to go.
Gonna let you down when he's dead.
Yes, and then the one thing that I do like is that you said you target the one that's by himself, because I feel like if you find a pack of wild hogs, it might get ugly for me. Because I'm saying,
most of them run off on those sounders. You're just gonna have a sow. You might have a young boar or a dominant boar in there, and then a lot of piglets. You know, and those are the ones. You know, that's the next generation. So there are hunters that eradicate and they kill every hog they see, and there's hunters like me that are actually targeting something. And I'm targeting, and if you see the pictures again on social media, you'll see what I'm looking for, because sponsors, they don't want to see a barbecue pig, they want to see a big ugly.
So the one by himself, he's like an alpha ugly, like
usually
big, nasty
a
guy.
dominant boar that travels, and they travel for miles. You know, I'll put up trail cameras in remote areas. Of course, we'll put them around beta position, but we also put them in remote areas where people don't go to, what I call no man's land. And but that's when I find tracks, and I go out there and I'll hike down and I'll pull the camera cards and I'll go back and look. And so you kind of develop a little bit of patterns, you know, following these things. But there's really no true pattern to a certain solo boar. You know, he's running all over the place. Could go for miles. You may not see that same one for 3 months, 4 months. I've got one I just saw, I haven't seen in 2 years on the Natchez River. Thought he was gone and dead or something, but just showed up.
Same
on a
one?
remote trip. Same one, just bigger.
Well, I guess
but they have distinctive markings and patterns on them and look to them, you know. So kind of like deer, you know how to, you track deer, you get pictures of them. Year after year, you look for one, you let them get older, mature. But that's usually they stay in a certain area. But these dominant boars, they travel. They're all over. And in the hill country, I was on this piece of land that I leased out outside of Bernie, and I had an exclusive lease on this land, and then I would guide hunts on it. But most of the time I was there just trying to track these big rooters. I would guide the deer hunts on the land, but I would hike these hills and these rocks and set up these remote cameras, and that's where I got a couple of these really huge boars that we were looking for. And I would go night after night after night, and I always had an opportunity to shoot something, but it wasn't what I was looking for. You know, I had that big boar, and I have a hit list, and they're my top 5. You know,
do they got names? I'm thinking about
I
swamp people. It's like Old Big Head, and
I do. I actually do. The one that's mounted in my shop, and when I do shows with one of my sponsors, the hunting shows, we put him up, and I nicknamed him Snowflake because he looked white on trail camera because he was a real light tan, almost a gold color, had these little black specks in there, And when the trail camera would flash on there, those invisible lights, it just looked white. So I just called him Snowflake. And but I have nicknames. I usually find the top 5 biggest ones in that area, and I'll put a nickname to them based on what they look like. And then those are the ones I'm targeting, right? And along the way, if I happen to come across another one, and I'll take it out. But I'm always looking for those. In this particular place, I got 4 out of 5 on my hit list. You know, I didn't get number 5, but I got the top 4.
Okay, so there's one still out there that's in Wild Bill's most wanted.
In the Bernie area, but I'm not hunting there anymore.
Okay. So is there one right now that you're on the hunt for?
Actually, there is that one I haven't seen in a couple of years, and then another one I'm looking for, and they're anywhere from one's 250 plus, and I think one's a little over 300.
That's okay. I didn't realize they got that big. Now I'm second guessing that trip.
No, we'll take you out and we'll just shoot a little and we'll barbecue it while we're there, so we can make a video.
Okay, I can eat. Okay, you mentioned there's barbecue food. I'll make it work. Hey, thank you so much for hanging out today. I appreciate you taking the time.
Yep.
It's KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. Hey y'all, be blessed. Have a good one. All right, Facebook, y'all be good.